Buddy, we got a couple more minutes before the episode starts, so give you time to join in when you're ready. I'm Blaze. Hi. That's Nick. This is Brittany. And this is episode 2 of Fade the Shade Away. So go ahead and get your popcorn or conversation pieces ready. So it's going to be a good old time. Hey, Matt, what's going on? So give a few more minutes, let people join in, and we'll get this party started. Right. Wrong. How are we going to do it? Hey, Linnell. So, y'all doing all right? You good? Mm-hmm. I like your beard.
Well, you know.
I'm jealous of your hat and your hair. I used to have hair like that when I was younger. Not so much now. It's all gone. So
it's good that I've known you that long that I can actually believe it.
I know that's the thing. But you seen it though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You seen it. The hair was down to here.
Yeah.
It was down to here. And then my aunt was doing my hair one day, and she couldn't catch it, and let's just cut it. All right. So this 7 o'clock. I said we want to start at 7. It's 7 o'clock, so we're gonna get this party started. What's up, James? I did have some hair, Rallo. So this is Fade the Shade Away, episode 2. And what we're going to be talking about today is friendships. Like I said, I'm Blaze. I'm the host. We got Brittany over here, my homeboy Nick. I've known Nick since 9th grade, Bun High School. And
time flies.
It does fly. It does fly. It does fly. And I've known Brittany, 3 years? 3 years going on now. So we got 2 different ends of the spectrum as far as friendship goes. So what I wanted to start this episode with,
quickly explain. We're not.
Oh, you don't.
Chatting
Oh, you're
on
not
Facebook,
chatting. Yeah, we're not chatting. Yeah.
We have questions on our phone. We're not ignoring each other.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, it's not like that. It's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. So yeah, and my paper kind of got missing. That's what happens when you're a single dad and you try to come do things and it just doesn't work. No, Andy, I'm not talking about one bun. This is a podcast. We're talking about friendship today. Episode 1 was about fatherless figures. This one's gonna be about friendships, and the next one you have to wait to the end of the show to see. So, friendship, a friend defined by Webster is a person who one knows and with whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations. That's defined by Webster. I'm mad that they put sexual in the definition, but I guess some friends are sexual friends. But we're going to delve into that a little bit later. Oh, as a disclaimer, you might hear some words in here. So if you got a little cheering around, you might want to have them outside of the room because I cuss a lot. Nobody else does. I'm the cusser.
We'll try to keep it PG.
We'll try to keep me PG. So basically, what I want to start with, I guess, what does friendship mean to you? I guess it's always ladies first.
Yeah.
We'll go ladies first. So
she's probably gonna be more excited.
I know, right? Right? Yeah, I mean, because she's awesome like that. Anyway, Britt, what's friendship mean to you?
Personally, I take the term, I guess, friend, or using, if I call somebody a friend, that's my family.
Right.
That's somebody that, if they need me for whatever reason, I'm there, vice versa. I feel like I can call them, whether that be talk to them, whether that be, hey, let's go work out. Whatever the case may be, I feel like a friend is somebody that will have your back no matter what. Right. So I try not to use that term too loosely. Right. I have a lot of acquaintances, people I know. Yeah. But as far as friends, that's family to me. And I feel like when you've got a friend, when you have a friendship, that there's got to be trust and honesty in that. So those are just the 2, I guess, main things for me when I'm thinking about a friend. But
you touched on a lot of things, though. You're talking about the difference between friends and acquaintances and friends actually being family. Now, like you, I see it the same way. If I'm saying I'm going to be a friend with somebody, I don't take that lightly. Right. But I think a lot of people lose sight of what a friend is or what a friend does or what a friend should be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So All right, Nick.
Yeah, I think a friend, it's kind of along that same line. I think a friendship is a relationship that transcends time, right?
Right.
So, like, I could talk to you one day, I may not talk to you for another week, but there's no resentment or you don't have time for me, you couldn't call me. There's none of that. I think the friendship is, to me, a selfless relationship, right? Ooh. So I'm not in it for what do I get from you. I'm in it, what can I give to you, and how can I add just what can I add to it? And I think that was a good point where you said family. I think a lot of people, and we're going to get into this, a lot of people use friendship as this generic term of well, they're my friend. Yeah. Well, but I only know them on Facebook. I only know them through social media. I think friendship is not a constant connection, but is a constant relationship.
Right. Oh, let's see. That's a really good point, because I think that plays on to our relationship. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we've known each other since ninth grade, and we played football together 4 years. And it's just like football and ran track. Yep. And I don't know of a lot of people who have friends that they've known since college, much less high school. Yeah. Right. And then one of the things you talked about was like, you don't look at it to, gain anything from it. You just, it's just, you're there. We got each other's back. It's like, okay. I'm gonna kind of give an example. So like, Nick and I, we pretty much have stayed in contact over the years, just like constantly, but we don't see each other a whole lot. But I know that if I need something, this dude's gonna be there, and vice versa. Absolutely, vice versa. So if if I call and say, hey man, I'm in a tight spot, yeah, he's gonna be right there, and that's happened actually.
And I think that it manifests from a foundation that has been built, right? Yeah. So like it's not we're this instant society of get it now, like the Amazon Prime society. You don't build relationships, and you don't build knowledge. You don't really build anything in a quick turnaround. So we have this foundation where we spent 4 years together being good friends, seeing each other every day, and talking. So there's that solid foundation of friendship. Right. And as we've gotten older, got married, had kids, had jobs, we have that reference of that foundation that I know Blaze. Yeah. I may not talk to him for a couple weeks or months or whatever, but I still know you as a person. Yeah. So I have that currency built up that I understand our relationship.
Yeah, it's not superficial.
So when we come back and we sit down and we have a beer and we eat Buffalo Wild Wings, we have that conversation that we can pull back from, and how's the family? We have that relationship already built.
Yeah, and the thing with Brittany and I, Brittany and I started talking on. We had something in common. And we're not gonna, I ain't gonna tell you business like that, because it ain't none of y'all business. She want to share it with y'all, she will. But the thing with Brittany and I came about, we had a similar story, and she reached out. Now, a lot of people, when you get these people who say, "Well, if you need me, call me. If you need me, call me. I'll be right there," and it's empty promises. Yeah. It's empty promises and stuff. But I think with what Brittany and I have is just like, I think she saw somebody in me who was like, okay, he gets it, he understands, so I'm gonna reach out and see what happens. And when she reached out, I answered. It wasn't a problem. It's been like that ever since. One of the things that I say is like, and a lot of my people know, when I say I got you, I got you. It's not gonna be like, okay, well, he's busy, or he has he has kids and all of that stuff, and he's got work. And it's not like if it's 3:00 in the morning and you stranded on the side of the road, or you're drunk and you can't drive home. It's 3:00 in the morning. I ain't got my kids, or even if I got them, hey, let's go. We're gonna get in the car. That's what's gonna happen, and and that's what it is. A lot of people don't do that, so it's a lot of empty promises. So I guess my next thing I want to talk about is being a friend a cliche now? It's like it's kind of like is it a war on what friendships really are? Because we talked about it earlier, is like with social media, you got all these people on social media, and these people, they hide, you know, who they are. It's just like, are they up there to actually see how I am, or they're just being nosy, you know? And there's so much stuff to go into with that one. So because it's just like for instance, so y'all know, if y'all follow me, y'all know I had a dog. I adopted a dog from the SPCA a couple of weeks ago. I loved the dog because I needed a companion. He was awesome. And, you know, he tore up some stuff, you know, blinds, no problem. You know, I did everything like I needed to. It was cool. You know that he's a dog. I know that I can handle it. But he tore up my bathroom. I mean, he tore my bathroom apart. I mean, flooded the bathroom, flooded, you know, the hallways, did all this stuff. And it's just like, what's interesting is when I was posting stuff about, hey, let's make a difference in the community. Let's try to do something out for these other, you know, and try to build a community garden and bring everybody together, show that hatred ain't going to, you know, it's not going to take over our town. Didn't get a lot of response from these people but when I posted stuff about the dog and saying I was going to get rid of the dog, people come out of the woodworks and I'm an asshole.
Wow.
Because
well, I mean, that's understandable in that
part. You're biased. Yeah. Quit telling my business like that. But the thing about it is, it's like people were more concerned about what I was doing wrong with the dog and quick to talk trash about me and saying it was my fault. But when I'm actually trying to do something to help people, they're very silent. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's one of the things I don't get. It's just like, I find myself, and I know I'm guilty of it, of trying to seek approval of people of social media.
Yeah.
I want people to think that I'm looking at these people and I'm just like, okay, am I doing okay? Is somebody going to like what it is that I'm doing? Is somebody going to be receptive of me trying to make a difference in somebody's life? Or is somebody going to judge me for the way I raise my kids or anything like that? You know what I mean? And it's just like people, they get on social media and they put who they think people want them to be out there, and you don't get in touch with the real person. Mm-hmm. You know?
I agree.
So how do we change that? How do we make that better? Or are we just doomed to likes and sad faces and, you know, angry faces and crying?
I think being a friend is a cliche now because, again, there's no investment in it. I mean, I have social media, a couple different accounts, obviously, and you have 400 friends, right?
Right.
So, of those 400 friends, I mean, you know these people, but
you don't really know.
My friend list is probably going to go down here, but you're not really friends with these people, right?
Right.
So I think that's one aspect of it. This friend on Facebook is not really a friend. It's someone that you keep tabs with because you're able to see their life unfold digitally, right?
Right.
Where we used to didn't have that option.
Yeah.
You graduated high school, you graduated college, and then you made an effort to stay connected with these people. Yeah. Now there's really no effort to stay connected. And I was thinking about this on the way over here. I wonder at what generation does long-term friendship start to go away, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we've known each other for
was it 94?
Since high school. I don't want to know. But you think about that, and, I know people who are a little younger than me. They have friends that they've known from high school. But I wonder what age does that flip to say, I don't really have a invested relationship with someone because I see their life unfolding, or I talk to them on social media and don't have the hanging out after school or going to sporting events with. You don't have that built-in connection, and all you have is this or this. And then at what point are you just Facebook friends with people and then you don't really know someone?
Right.
And I think that's the problem is we have these Facebook friends, we have this interaction digitally, and we don't know each other as real people. So when you take a dog back, people don't understand that maybe you can't afford to fix something, or maybe you don't have time to get an extra job to repair something, or whatever it is. They don't really understand your relationship. They see Blaze bought a dog, skipped out on his responsibility and took it back. That's what they see.
Yeah.
But that's not the real picture. The real picture is you have kids, you have a job, you have a dog. You had to pick your priorities, and the dog fell below that priority line. Yeah. So that's what it is. And we have people that, like you said, see the best of you, and they gauge you all your actions off of who they see you are on social media.
Right. So we got some comments and stuff coming up here. I think Jermaine said, he says he thinks in today's society, the word friend is used too loosely. We're in a society where everyone don't know how to differentiate between a friend and being an acquaintance. It's okay that everyone is not your friend. They aren't supposed to be. That's a very valid point. And Tim says the meaning has changed. Perhaps friends may be someone you're familiar with, and those closest to you are maybe called brothers or sisters.
Yeah, I think it's a valid point.
Yeah, that is a very valid point. Yeah, I mean, because like you think about it, it's like I call you my sister.
Right.
I call Brittany my sister. Oh yeah, we call us my sister. Nick is just a.
Yeah, I mean,
Nick is Nick. Nick is Nick.
Words can't describe the value he sees in my friendship.
Exactly. That's a very, very accurate description. But no, and that's the thing though. It's just it goes back to what Brittany was talking about earlier. Is just like it's your family. Your friends are your family, and it kind of one of the things you say you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. You can't pick your family. All right, but I think that's kind of morphed because if friends become your family, you can pick who your family's going to be.
That's true.
And it's like I could like Nick's my family and Brittany's my family. That's who they are. But I still think that gauge has been gone for so many people, and it's like I think people are missing out on what an actual friend is. And it's like you see all these people. Like the memes, what's disheartening to me is just like everybody saying, "Don't trust no one, trust no one, trust no one, don't do all this stuff, trust no one." I'm just like, God, is that how you really want to live? That's how you want to live your life? You don't want to have to be able to count on anybody if shit goes down. You're not going to trust. So if you trust no one, I was a firefighter. You're trusting me to come save your life, but if you trust no one, you think I'm going to let you die just because you don't trust nobody. That's some deep-seated shit right there.
Yeah.
I know that's an extreme, but at the same time is you can't go through life thinking that you're going to do that. Yeah, you can do stuff on your own, but at the same time, it's okay to have somebody by your side to pick you up when you fall. You know what I mean? Because when you're there or when you're there alone, it's tough to pick yourself up. You can't pick yourself up from your own bootstraps all the damn time.
Yeah, but I think when you bring up people who say they don't trust anybody, never trust anybody, that mentality, it's the same as the people on Facebook who don't show you who they really are. I think that person who doesn't want to trust anybody is just hiding who they really are as a person from the world. And it's easier for me to say I'm not going to trust you than it is to very emasculating word to be vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
And that's the problem again, as I think to build that friendship and have that true relationship, you have to have vulnerability with people, and you have to show them like actually who you are as a person. And we're not all perfect. We all have flaws, and we're not going to always be the person you need me to be, or I'm not going to always be the person you need me to be, vice versa. And I think that's the problem is we all want to be perfect, and we don't want to let you see that I'm not that person that is always going to be a great friend. I mean, I can be a bad friend sometimes, and we can still be friends. Yeah. And I think that's the problem with that person is they just don't want to show who they really are because they might fail because they expect other people to fail them. Right.
Yeah. Well, I think that social media gives people the ability to be who they think everybody wants them to be, or be who they want to be, and not who they actually are. Yes. You don't have to put everything on social. You can you have the choice to put what you want to put on social media. Okay, so you're only showing people what you want them to see, and not everything. And I think yes, I have social media accounts, and I'm really bad at keeping up with certain things. I think social media can be good if you're trying to keep in contact with people that live cross country. Like
right.
For me, a lot of my people are in California, you know, that sort of thing. But it also, I feel like, gives people an excuse to not stay connected with somebody because they just assume, well, you didn't see my post, well, you know. And for me personally, it's hard. I don't spend enough time on social media to keep up with everybody. If I happen to be on and I happen to, you know, scroll through, you know, somebody's picture, somebody's post, or that sort of thing. But like, we'll just say, for example, I'll give you a story that someone told me that didn't have social media.
Right.
So they were really close friends with somebody. They found out that 2 weeks ago they were in the hospital. They were upset that, hey, how come you didn't call me? How come you didn't let me know? We're close friends. Well, I posted on Facebook. You know?
Yeah.
Or if something, I feel like you put it on Facebook and now you've just reached 500 people.
Yeah.
So you don't have to call this person or that person or whatever. You can reach a lot of people, but at the same time, you cannot, I don't think that you can build a foundation or build a true friendship through social media.
Right.
Through these apps
right.
that we have when you're meeting people. So I think it's good to communicate, but to actually get to know somebody, I feel like you've got to be right in front of them. You've got to spend time with them. And, you know, posting pictures, sending pictures back and forth and doing that, you're not seeing that real, you know, who that person really is. They're just showing you who they think you want to be. Or they want you to be, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's a great segue to what I want to go into, because I think, and you mentioned earlier, is like, where does that generation change with building that foundation as far as friendships and everything goes? It's like, to me, the art of conversation is lost now. You know, because you think about it, everything is catered for us not to interact in person.
Right.
You know, you can hide behind your screen and send text messages, and the motherfucker's sitting right beside you.
Yes, no, it's true.
Yeah. It's like he's sitting right beside you, but you can't talk.
That brings me to so I have to tell this story. Right. Okay. I was with a friend and we went out, and my friend had met another person on, you know, through, I don't know, some app. Anyway, met him online. They had been texting back and forth all day. Finally, it's like, hey, let's meet up. Let's meet at this club, or let's meet at this bar, whatever the case may be. We meet up because I'd seen pictures. I'd seen this person. I'm like, hey, so-and-so's right over there. You know, let's go talk to him.
Right.
Next 15, 20 minutes. They seeing each other and and I'm thinking, this is crazy.
No.
So I had to break the ice. And for the ones that know me, I can be shy. I mean, I can also be very open, but around people that I don't know, I can be kind of reserved, shy, quiet.
I'll give you that.
So I was just like, this is ridiculous. It was just crazy. It's crazy to me that, and I've seen, I mean, that's just one story, but I've seen it happen. Like, you're just in the same room, in the same general area, and don't want to talk face to face.
Face to face, yeah.
Well, I think it goes back to being a different person, or having that ability to be a different person on social media. Like, if I have the keyboard in front of me, I can type, you know, if I meet you person to person, say, hey,
hi, yeah.
But if I'm typing, I'm like, hey, girl, how's it going? You know, you're so much more of a perfect person when you have the time to think through what you're going to say. And I think that's big key too, is with that, you can be that perfect person, or you can just throw something out there and not have to deal with the face-to-face rejection as well. You talked about the person who was in the hospital. Broadcasting on Facebook, we hit 500 people, but you throw it out there and you don't risk the response of, hey, I'm in the hospital. Oh, okay, cool. You know, you throw it out, you get the attention from people who want to give it to you, and you don't feel rejected by people that don't, because in your mind you're saying, oh, they didn't log into Facebook yet, or they, you know, the analytics of Facebook pushed my post way to the bottom. So I think there's that again. You don't have to be rejecting. You don't have to be vulnerable in front of a person. You can be perfect. You can be the person you want to be without showing them who you really are.
Okay, so all right. So I just thought about this, and it's just like, and I guess it's ironic. So social media is going to give you confidence, but you know what I mean, because you get to be who you are. But say you have a job interview, and you know that shit is going, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're doing job interviews online now too. I did a job interview a year ago where I sat in front of us.
Yeah.
I had my iPad out. They ask you a question. You have 2 to 3 minutes to respond to that question. If you don't like it, you can delete it and re-record it.
Damn, I'm that old.
Yeah, you are, but
no, I get what you're saying.
I mean, but
it just makes me think like we are headed in that direction where we don't have to interact with people for anything.
You don't know that you're not social until you have to be social.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's like you said, that's where we're heading to these silos of social media and digital interactions to where we don't have to be social. So it may just be that we're not realizing we're not being social because there might be a generation who's never been social. I mean, it's hard to understand a generation not doing anything. And this is a really quick story, and it has nothing to do with friendship, but it gives me a chance to bring up my daughter.
Right.
She watches the same things, Paw Patrol, those type of shows.
Yeah.
We watch them on demand. So we just pound through them sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, we ran out of one show to watch or something, so we started watching it on TV. Or a commercial came up, and she's like, "Daddy, fix it."
Yeah.
It's the same thought of,
right?
Wow, she's never seen a commercial.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And so you think about some people who, if they don't know they've never been social or not been social, how do they be social?
How to be social, yeah. And it's like, and it makes me think about my kids too. It's just like, okay, so Gabe is a social butterfly. He has no problem going up. He knows how to shake hands, with people. He knows how to. He says hi. He'll give hugs and do all these things. That's who he is. But he's also, I guess, savvy to the point where he can get on his tablet and do things. Now, Gracie can be a social butterfly when she's in a good mood. Which is in a good mood. But the thing about it is, I'm curious. I'm consciously making an effort to make sure that I socialize them with other children, because if I don't, then they're going to be just like this the whole time. But they're not going to know how to converse with older adults or other people when the time comes down to it. I want them to be able to function in society without having to use their phone to get things done.
Yeah, I think the majority of humans default to the path of least resistance, the easiest thing to do, and it's much easier for me to play on my phone or interact with social media, or if I'm having a tough conversation with someone, hide into your iPad. So I think that's the goal with our kids in that aspect, is to teach them that the easiest way is not always the best way.
Right.
Iron sharpens iron. Iron doesn't sharpen cotton, or cotton doesn't sharpen iron. You have to have that outside of your comfort zone and outside of the easy part of it to be a better person.
Okay, I got you on that. So, I guess I want to talk about, I guess, in a few more minutes that we have left, I want to talk about what it's like, I guess, to be loyal as a friend.
Okay.
What does loyalty look like when it comes to friendship? Because, I can speak from personal experience. From my personal experience, I remember I've gone to people's houses at 2:00 in the morning because they were going to cut themselves. I've gone to people's houses. I've taken people's kids to school because the mom couldn't get to work, or she had to work and she didn't have any other way to get other people to do these things. I've been to people who have, who didn't know what else to do. But on the flip side, those same people who I've came to help when I was down and I needed something, they were nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
And these people, I've had people tell me, do petty things just to prove a point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when I'm there, when you need me, I'm there. So what do we do, or when does loyalty become too much of a fault? Because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be there for you, but you keep fucking me over. Or, you know what I mean? Or you kick me when I'm down. You need me when it's convenient for you, but when I need you, you're gone. When does that when do you cut those ties?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
When do you cut those ties? I'm asking because I'm still learning.
I mean, I can give you my opinion with most things in life.
Yeah.
With people and with the things you do, for me, it's love people and love things who love you back, and invest in things that you see return on.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So you don't. In my opinion, you don't see return on watching reruns for 6 hours.
Right.
You see return on reading a book or investing in your career by taking an online class. You love people who love you back. You love people and invest in people who will be there at 2 o'clock in the morning. You're there because they're going to be there. And I know that kind of contradicts what we said earlier about not looking what you get out of the relationship. Yeah. And it does to a certain extent, but I think with the question of when do you cut that off, I think you cut that off when you're not seeing a return of investment.
Right.
And not saying, I put in an hour, I didn't get an hour
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
It's not a one-for-one relationship, but it should be I come to your house at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you call me next week to ask me how I'm doing.
Yeah.
They're not equal, but the effort is there. And if I'm not getting attention, but if I'm not getting that same effort put towards me at this point in my life, I've got a wife and I've got a daughter and I've got work. They love me back. Yeah. So I'll focus on them. If you don't want to focus on me, that's fine. You don't want to be my friend, that's fine. Yeah. It sounds like I'm jaded, but I have enough love for my family and the people that really see value in me that I don't need anybody else.
It's all philosophizing.
And you gotta love yourself, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
And that's the key too. Yeah. I mean, you're probably not gonna find anybody that loves himself more than I love myself.
Right.
Like I enjoy life. Everything's good for me. I don't get too low. I don't get too high. I stay pretty even because if you don't want to be in my life, that's fine. I mean, it's a pretty good person to be around.
It is. I concur.
Yes.
I concur. I agree. Who would have thought he would have? This dude is all on top of it. He won't like this back in school. He's a bit of a dumbass back then, but
there's no bit.
Now, not so much. All right, your turn.
I agree with give and take. There's got to be the same amount of effort put in the relationship, but it kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, not doing something or putting yourself out there to expect something back. Yeah. Yes, you do want effort in return, but that's another thing about being vulnerable.
Right.
Okay. And just that's just your personality. So if you say you're going to be there for somebody, you're going to be there. And being vulnerable, putting yourself out there, giving everything that you have, and you do that once or twice or enough times to, and if you need that person and they don't give it back, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or if you have somebody that's doing something for you to later throw it in your face.
Oh, yeah. That's the worst.
That's a big one, too.
That's the worst.
Then that's when you gotta, because I know we share the same values in friendship, what friendship means to us. Yeah. And what we're willing to do for a friend or family.
Right.
And so just for me, hearing something like that bothers me.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like, especially when you finally let somebody in and you let somebody actually do something for you for once, and they throw it back in your face. Yeah. It kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about Brittany. Okay, so Brittany. So I tell Brittany about I had a rough patch and going through some stuff. Somebody really upset me. She was ready to fight. she was ready to fight. I was like, no, you ain't got to worry about that. It's all good. But she's like, the thing about it, and the thing that I love about her is just like she gets me, and she is always she's supportive. You know what I mean? And she's always there. She just checks on me when just out of the blue sometimes, just to say hey, and that's what you need. And same thing with Nick. Nick and I talk a lot of trash to each other, but it's done in a way with so much love. It's just like it's never going to change. If we didn't pick on each other, then we think that something we would know that something is wrong.
Yeah, and really quick, when you said that about she was angry, the term shared emotions.
Yeah.
Kind of come into my mind of friendships. You share those emotions. If you have a true friend and you get a new job, they're happy for you. If you lose your job, they're sad for you. It's real shared emotions, shared joys, shared tears.
Yes.
And I think that's the key too, is that vulnerability of being able to just share emotions with each other. And I think we've done that.
Yes.
And I think once you get to that relationship level where you can do that, that's when you really have that friendship, and it's going to be there for a while.
No doubt. All right, so I want to end this with a quote. It's from Octavia Butler. It says, "Sometimes being a friend means mastering the art of timing. There's a time for silence, a time to let go and allow people to hurl themselves into their own destiny, and a time to prepare to pick up the pieces when it's all over." I think that, to me, that's a perfect summary of what friendship is.
Yep.
I want to thank Nick and Brittany for coming on the show. The show, like I'm all famous, all on the podcast and the Facebook Live.
I was about to say you were some current talk show host.
I know.
I don't know what he talked. I was like Arsenio.
No, he's not there. Steve Harvey.
Steve.
I need a mustache and a big ass smile. So, but this has been Fade the Shade Away. This is episode 2. Is talking about friendships. We're going to do one more podcast before the end of the year. This is going to be on dating. If there's any, I would like to have 2 single females come on the show. Come up here and we're going to talk about dating. I already got Mel's going to come back from the first podcast, and he has a lot to say on this issue, and it's really interesting, and he has a very unique perspective on dating. So if you're interested, if you want to get on, if you want to come on the podcast, hit me up via Facebook Messenger or whatever, and we'll get this thing done. So I thank you guys for coming in and spending the evening with us. You guys are awesome. Thanks for all the comments, the likes, the angry faces, everything that you put up there. So my friends are my family. I love it. So y'all take care of yourselves, all right? Peace.